China lied about the virus. Over the past year, American people have suffered. More than 600,000 Americans have died from the virus. 3.8 million across the world. This pandemic, we did not invite, but we have spent the ingenuity of America to defeat it. But they must be held accountable for their lies. Yet the President of the United States has refused to take any action. The Democrat majority in this House has refused to take any action. What's even worse is the first actions from this president and new administration was to send more than $200 million to the World Health Organization. Not asking for them to be reformed, not asking why they lied, not asking why they allowed China to influence them, and then in their budget proposed more than $100 million more to go to the World Health Organization. The Democrats in this Congress for the past year have allowed China to continue to lie. As many of you know, in the last Congress, I spent more than 8 months working with the Democrat majority trying to create a bipartisan China task force. Equal number of Republicans, equal number of Democrats, long before we had heard of any COVID virus. The Democrats agreed finally after 8 months. We even settled the number of members and who they would be. We even brought in the Washington Post to interview before we would announce. But when that day came, the Democrats said no. I do not know what the Chinese have on this Democrat majority, but it must be very powerful. Why would they not participate in a task force to make sure America in the next century is ours? Just as then, we will not sit back, we will take action. Our China task force met, our China task force came out, led by Mr. McCall. 2/3 of all their proposals were bipartisan. We can no longer wait for this Democrat majority to get to the bottom of where this virus came from. So that's why we have proposed 8 pillars that will deliver the transparency and justice all Americans are calling for, and the world. The transparency, and the members here will come up, talk about a number of their bills, a part of this, but we need to first start by declassifying the intelligence for the entire world to know where COVID came from. Stop funding gain of function with China. Prohibit NIH funding to bad governments like China, Russia, North Korea, or Iran. We need an overhaul of the World Health Organization, including demanding the leadership to be replaced. The United States need to utilize every authority to continue to investigate. We need to restrict the visas and impose sanctions so they understand that they cannot continue to do this around the world. We need to work with the international community to relocate the 24th Winter Olympic Games. If China would lie to the world where millions died, why would the world reward them with another Olympics? We also need to provide the American people an avenue to directly hold the Chinese government accountable for the loved ones they lost because of Chinese deception. This comprehensive plan will ensure Americans get the accountability and transparency they deserve. We cannot allow the wrongdoing of China to go unnoticed, and more importantly, to not allow the accountability to happen. With that, I want to bring up our whip.